So let's get right over into that video and see what the lady's talking about. We're talking to a survivor. We're listening to a survivor where she went on the news. So let's get right into it and see what it all is talking about.
Our next guest was attacked in Washington back in 2020. She had to move out of the city. Her attacker, though, was arrested 5 more times. And guess what? The courts just kept setting him free. Anna Giratelli is a reporter for the Washington Examiner. She's joining us now live. Anna, first of all, thank you for joining us live on the show. I know how difficult this is, and I hate to make you live this all over again. But if you could, just share with our viewers, take us back to 2020 on that day when you were just running an errand. What happened to you?
Yeah, I left my apartment next to Union Station to go to the post office and mail a package. Walked out of the building in sweats and was about a block down the street on 2nd Street Northeast when a man lunged at me and in the process sexually assaulted me. And fortunately, my screaming, he was also screaming. I was screaming for help, and other people didn't hear me and ran over. And so they were able to get him off me, and he got away that day. But thanks to DNA evidence that the police collected from me, they were able to see that he was in the system and then arrested him on the street a few months later and determined that he was homeless, living in a tunnel close to my apartment building, and arrested him,
watching her.
only for him to be released and rearrested 5 times and re-released the next day.
Well, I want to ask you about that because going through something like that has to be so traumatic, but then to see someone that attacked you get arrested time and time again and then just be set free without anything ever changing. Right now, what we're seeing is this narrative being pushed by city officials, by the police chief, that crime is down. They keep putting statistics out there. But you wrote that if you look for evidence of your attack in the DC crime stats, you won't find it. Why?
Yeah, the man who attacked me was convicted. He went to federal prison for what he did to me that day. And there is nothing on the DC Police crime cards page. It's where they track stats, all types of felonies, including sex abuse, which was what he was convicted of.
Hold on. Are you telling me that they are deleting crime records? We just mentioned that a little while ago. So you can't find any evidence of the crime, but he was arrested, charged, and put in. Oh my God! Hold on. Let's back that up a tad bit.
And who attacked me was convicted. He went to federal prison for what he did to me that day. And there is nothing on the DC Police crime cards page. It's where they track stats, all types of felonies, including sex abuse, which was what he was convicted of. They're not putting stats on there for sex abuse unless it is a first degree, which would be rape, or it is a certain second degree crime. Other degrees are not being added to that list. And so for myself and countless other victims, we don't know how many there are, and we don't know, why the city isn't putting that up there. Certainly people have opinions, but all we know is that what happened to me is not up there, and there's far more, obviously, than just myself.
So you didn't go through enough pain for the city to recognize you.
That is wild.
That's what it felt like, to have him released on the street as many times as happened made me feel like I was crazy. To think this does not seem like a bad idea. He got caught once outside yielding a machete. And to think that's not a public threat, to think that his safety, not overcrowding the DC jail was, when the U.S. Attorney's Office told me, more of a concern than having him come back out into the street and be held in jail during COVID. But, yeah.
I want to ask you what you think about the federal takeover, but if you can, listen with me here to this DC resident who is complaining about it and saying that it's disgusting. Listen.
It hurts me to my core that our president is making our service people, sorry, I'm so emotional. This is disgraceful. I come here every day. I never feel unsafe. This is an act, and putting women of color, making these people have these as their work orders, it's disgusting. And for what? For what?
Anna, what's your take?
Yeah, I was attacked right outside that very building, so I certainly have a different take than she does. Look, DC is not a state. It's not a normal jurisdiction. The president has authority He's acting within his authority, and if it's challenged, the courts will get to the bottom of that. But President Trump has said on Monday that he's taking action to improve the city's safety, and we'll see if it comes to fruition.
Anna, are you doing okay now?
I'm doing great. Yeah, I've relocated. Work is great. The Examiner has really treated me really well through all of this and helped me through it. So thank you.
There are always people there to help. Anna, thanks for joining us and sharing your story. It's important.
Hey, everyone.
Absolutely crazy. They said he was released 5 times. One time he was wielding a machete and he just gets out. I've said this before in prior videos. If they do, I just don't understand. Man, I don't know. If they appear to be a danger to the public, which it sounds like he is, he attempted to sexually assault a woman or did sexually assault her. They found his DNA on her. He's outside wielding a machete. He was obviously stalking her because he said he lived in a tunnel near her house. Absolutely crazy, y'all. Absolutely. I don't know how you feel about Trump and him doing sending more police to the state of DC, or not state of DC, to DC. But I don't know, man. If crime is that bad, then I don't see a problem with it. But it's crazy. The main thing that I am concerned about is that this man was freed repeatedly after sexually assaulting a woman in 2020. Repeatedly. I would think that you get in trouble again, you would be locked up. But no, 4 other times, 5 of the time. Now, I might have misheard her, but it sounded like, oh my God. Absolutely crazy. Tell me your thoughts on that. Do you agree with that whole situation? Do you think they had a reason for him to be let back out on the streets? I'm assuming they had a reason. They gave a reason, but is it an appropriate reason? Is it an appropriate reason for him to be put back on the streets? Absolutely crazy. I'm glad that I am absolutely happy that the reporter asked her, how is she doing? Because we can't forget about the victims. We cannot forget about, they're telling their stories, but we have to show concern for what she went through. God, we have to show concern for what she went through. Wow. But that is crazy and absolutely wild. Now, all right, everybody, remember this is AC Review.